It is time to talk about Tyrese Maxey. I've been doing these little preview videos about the extremely promising young players in our game today. I just did Jordan Poole today, so go check that out. Also touch on some other guys like James Wiseman, Zion Williamson, and of course, Anthony Edwards. But it's been the preseason play of this man that has inspired this video. If they gave out an award for preseason MVP, I have a pretty good idea who it would be, because in the games that this guy has played so far this preseason, he's been absolutely lights out, especially that three-point percentage, just field goal percentage in general. It's like he's playing the game on rookie difficulty on 2K. That's pretty much what this reminds me of. I feel like every time he takes a shot, it's just going to be all net, especially from three-point land. His shot looks absolutely beautiful, a step up from even the 43% from three that he shot last year, which a lot of people probably thought was going to be an anomaly. Like, the fact that he had that good of a year, no one saw that coming, and, you know, maybe you just come back down to earth the next year, but he looks like he might be at 50% this year, so I do want to say, keep in mind the competition he's playing. It's not like these guys are bad comp, but they're certainly good teams like the Brooklyn Nets, of course, the Philadelphia 76ers. But just the fact that he doesn't really have the greatest defenders sticking on him, and he isn't exactly locking up on the other end, not known as a defensive player, and he probably won't be during the year. But the fact that he gets to play next to a guy like James Harden, he often will not have to deal with the best defensive guard on the other team sticking him, because James Harden is going to command so much attention, at least the Sixers would hope, and that will free up Maxey to just wreak havoc as a scorer and get at least 20 points per game. I think that's totally valid for him this year as a guy that's looking like a pretty elite scorer from three levels. I don't know exactly how good his isolation shot creation ability is, but certainly playing off of a guy like Harden is more of a 2. His ability to just get open can stem from the fact that he might be the fastest player in the league. Guy has absolute breakneck speed, especially in transition, and even sometimes he can get by a guy without even doing a move because he's so fast. Just makes everybody else look slow on the court. And so in summary, I would say maybe expect another jump from Tyrese Maxey this next year. I know he had a great year last year, and just to build on that and become a real star player, real piece of a big 3 this year in Philly, and maybe a chance to sneak into the All-Star game, because if this team is in the top 2 in the Eastern Conference, he will certainly be a large contributor to that record, and especially because, like I talked about, that level of defensive attention that he's going to receive in comparison to other guys on his team, and not just James Harden, but also scoring players Tobias Harris, and obviously the MVP, Joel Embiid. So the attention going into games is not going to be on him first or even second, especially if James Harden maintains a level of play where he can be one of the top point guards in the NBA. Tyrese Maxey is going to sneakily be able to drop 20 points. He's just going to be able to get open and not have such a heavy workload on the offensive end. Now, the one thing I will say is that this defense, especially in the backcourt, might be a problem at times, especially when you're going up against teams with a few shot-creating, scoring guards in the backcourt. You're going to have Harden guarding someone and Maxey guarding someone, and that has to bring up issues. If they're going to play together on the court, I would expect their minutes to be staggered a little bit, just so that pairing doesn't bring forth too much of a liability on defense. But I think Tyrese Maxey has the potential to be a really scary player for a lot of teams. And just for him being the number 3 guy in this team's offense, keeping him from getting where he wants to on the floor might be a total issue, especially if you have to guard him like he's Klay Thompson on the three-point line. So that's going to do it. I just want to do a little quick blurb on Tyrese Maxey, because he's really impressed me in the preseason. I think we're going to see something big out of him this year. And obviously they just keep striking out in that second round year in, year out. It's time for them to get to the conference finals for once. If they are able to do that, he's going to be a large part of that. Only concern with this team, I will say once again, is that perimeter, that backcourt defensive ability. You might have some really rough nights with James Harden and Tyrese Maxey, especially if they have to initiate so much of the offense. That's why it's important that Joel Embiid does that. I do expect to see Tyrese in the All-Star game. Maybe not this year, but in the next couple of years for sure. And hey, maybe there will be an injury replacement. He could be one of those main candidates to get in, because he is one of the great scoring talents, young talents, to come into the league in the last few years for sure. So that's going to do it. Bucketology, just a little quick video on Tyrese Maxey. I'm out. Check out some other videos. Subscribe. Leave some support. And I appreciate you guys. Peace.